Our next speaker is Chelsea Miraflor Trillo, indigenous to Mindanao from the so-called Philippine Islands. Hi, Chelsea. They have been a community member in Wiyot homelands since 2006 when they moved here for grad school, where they studied decolonizing social work. They believe in re-indigenizing community systems of care is what will rebalance human relationships in Mother Earth. Good morning, Chelsea, and thank you for joining us.
Good morning, Heather. Good to see you. I'm gonna take a deep breath real quick because I know my brother's watching, so I'm pretty nervous. Thank you, Cecilia, for your words. And Heather, it's good to see you again. I used to work with Heather at 7th Generation Fund, so it's really good to work with you in this way too. Ang pangalan ko ay Chelsea Miraflor Trillo. Nagpapat salamat ako na maging basito dito sa Wiyot homeland since the summer of 2016. Just like Heather said, my name is Chelsea, and I've been a guest here on Wiyot homelands for 4 years now. I descend from indigenous peoples of Mindanao, the so-called Philippines, and I came up here for grad school. I'm a MSW graduate of Humboldt State University. And now I currently work with Two Feathers Native American Family Services, and I also organize with Humboldt Mutual Aid. So shout out to both of y'all. It's an honor to share a few words with you today and to be in community with you fighting against this ongoing colonial crisis. Suicidality has impacted myself and loved ones pretty much my whole life and for generations before me. So I feel this really deep responsibility to co-create a world where suicidality ends with my generation. To co-create a world where my brother would still be alive and my partner wouldn't have ended up in the hospital. To co-create a world where the suicide rates for Native peoples of Humboldt County would not be 3 times the state average. To co-create a world where the word suicide no longer exists in the dictionary because it has become an obsolete concept, a distant memory and past we as a community and humanity have healed from and grown from. I'm ready to manifest that world alongside all of you. I am a survivor of multiple suicide attempts. Next month would be 5 years since my last try. I feel so grateful to the Wiyot peoples and to the surrounding Yurok, Talawa, Hupa, and Karuk territories. This place, this very special place, has housed so much of my ongoing healing from suicidality and depression. And it is because of the thousands of years of stewardship by the indigenous peoples of this place, the world renewal peoples like Cecilia, that I've been able to start rebalancing my wellness, to eat foods that come from rich soil, to drink from one of the few remaining places with clean water, and to live amongst keystone species like the redwoods and salmon relatives. It has also been my learning from and alongside local Native peoples and other displaced indigenous community members that I've been able to redirect my life and begin to truly live. It's why I told my brother to move up here. I keep thinking about when I was writing my words for today, I kept thinking about what I wanted to tell my younger self, knowing what I know now and what I'm continuing to learn here. I keep thinking about similar peoples who too struggle with chronic depression and who too have been surrounded by others impacted by suicide. I think especially about those like me who are queer and indigenous and often do not see where we are meant to exist in this world. I think about my ancestors who continue to love me and who have been patient with my delayed recognition that we do not only deserve to exist, but we are integral to the healing of our peoples and beyond. I say to people like me, it is okay to feel hopeless or out of place. It would be strange if we didn't. The way this world, this dominant world is set up was not meant for us. Colonization is not meant for indigenous peoples, is not meant for Black peoples or other POC to thrive. Capitalism is not meant to cultivate whole, healthy people. It is meant to extract and dispose of us. So how could we want to exist in an environment that does not want us as we are? We go through schools and society that teach us incorrect histories, that attempt to make us believe our histories began with the United States. We are taught that our skin color is dirty and that our cultural foods smell funny. We are taught we are savages and must acclimate to colonial ideals, or we are not good citizens. We are taught the traumatization is normal, the microaggressions are illusions, the homophobia is valid, the toxic masculinity is rewarded. We are taught to be disconnected from ourselves, from each other, from Mother Earth. This is the perfect formula for feeling hopeless. But we are bearing witness to an unprecedented time. As tragic as the COVID pandemic continues to be, we as a humanity have been forced to pause and rethink how we are doing things, how we are caring for each other and the earth, how we are holding each other accountable, how we are loving each other and restoring relationships, restoring what it means to be a good human and a good ancestor. This moment we are experiencing is suicide prevention. Defunding the police and redistributing the resources to support systems of care and community accountability, this directly dismantles the structures that perpetuate an environment that makes us depressed and sick, that makes us feel hopeless and useless and valueless and not worthy of love or life. This time of quarantine, we have been forced to look at these systems that do not serve us right in the face and confront the harsh truth that society has normalized harmful environments. It is time to say no more. It is time for change. People everywhere are calling for change, and it is happening. In this moment, we have a chance to reimagine our schools, healthcare, justice, protection, sustenance, to co-create the systems we need to raise our community up and abolish suicide. So let us take advantage of this moment. Let's revitalize our relationships to one another in such a way that it is impossible for a community member to feel unworthy or invisible. Let's reroot this community in relationality like the local Native peoples have been doing since generations and generations before us. Let's reimagine community systems steeped in reciprocal, radical care. Let's co-create a world where none of us question our ability to live, but rather a world where we are so excited to wake up every day and dream of our future's many possibilities. Together, we can make suicide obsolete, and I have hope. Thank you. Salamat po.
Chelsea, I wish I could give you a hug right now. Thank you for sharing. And those were really beautiful words, and they're really honest. And I think that you speak to something that is very true. I have faith in the wisdom and resilience that comes with this generation to end suicide. And thank you for sharing that.